So welcome. So today we're going to be taking a look at Photoshop and on-one software photo suites enlarging options. Now for years the only thing around was something called genuine fractals, and that was the main resizing software. Now that kind of got bought up and absorbed by on-one software and is now part of their photo suite, or photo raw now I think it's called. So we're going to take a look at how that stacks up against the new Photoshop enlargement process and their new algorithm. So what I did here is I have the original image. So this is my raw image, not toned, haven't touched it, just opened it up in Adobe Camera Raw. And then what I did was I went into image size and I reduced it by about 100%. So I took it down to 2500 pixels. All right, and then I did two different methods of enlarging it within Photoshop. So I went to image size, and you can see here's preserve details. All right, and I made this go back to the original size. So that was the method I used for number one. All right, so that is the old preserve enlargement algorithm that Photoshop has. And then I went to preserve details 2, which is the newer version. So I did the same thing and I enlarged it back up to its original size. All right, this is on-one software's Photo 10. It's not the newest version, but it has image resize in it. And so I'm in here now and I'm changing over to pixels, and then I'm going to resize it back to the original dimensions and hit save. So once that was all done, I came back and I took all 4 images and I cropped them I didn't crop them, I just imported them into these little blocks. I'm not sure why we lost the photo suite, but there it is. So this is my raw image. This is using preserve details 1, preserve details 2. And this is on-one software's photo suite. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually enlarge these and take a look and see what the differences are between them. So you can see this is my original image, and you can see this is the old Photoshop, and this is what it was known for: high contrast, over sharpened. All right, so we're losing some detail here in the whites, and everywhere it's just like it's been over sharpened raw out of the box. Not horrible, but not great. So we will slide over, and now we can compare preserve details 1 against preserve details 2, and you can see, especially in the nose right there, just how much smoother and better the gradations are between 2 and 1. So definitely a step in the right direction. You know, it's not as good as the original image. It still has a little bit of contrast difference, but definitely much better. So next, and the last one we have here, is on-one software's photo suite, and it looks as if the on-one software is a little bit more contrasty than the new Photoshop algorithm that they have here. You can see it up in here, and around the eyes. So it looks like, just to me, with the eye, that obviously as we zoom back out, the raw is by far a better image. But if you do have to enlarge an image, definitely would not use the Photoshop. And if you don't have a newer version of Photoshop and you have on-one software, the photo suite is still pretty good, but I would have to say the new algorithm in Photoshop, Preserve Details 2, is by far the best. So hopefully that's helpful. Just a little thing here on enlarging images. You know, if I enlarged it from 2500 pixels, if you tried to enlarge an image at 500 pixels, I mean, you're not going to get any better quality than it already is. I mean, you can try to make it better, but it is already such low quality that enlarging it's not really going to help. It's going to always be beneficial to go to your original image. And just a little trick. Now, I didn't do this how I would normally do it. Normally, Whenever you increase the size of a raw image, or an image, you should always do it from an untoned raw. All right, so you don't want to go and tone this dog and then size it. You want to resize it, then tone it. Makes a huge difference. So like, let's say this, I think my images come out to about 19.2 inches. Let's say I wanted to make this 36 inches. I would open this raw image, which is right here, and I would go directly into my image resize before I do it. So I'll just make this 6,500 pixels. And preserve image details too. And so now we're sort of enlarging that image. That's how I do it. Then I would go in and tone the image. You don't want to sharpen it because it's going to even increase the contrast more. So if you do need to enlarge something bigger than it is and you have the raw image, it's best to do it straight from the raw image, even before you crop or do anything. So hopefully that's helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and leave any comments below.